Hi, my name is Anna Hibber.
I'm Caroline Hopkins.
And I'm Maggie Annixter. We're here to talk to you today about water conservation. Now, everyone knows water conservation is a big deal, but I really don't believe people fully understand the aspects of water conservation. The majority of the world is made up of water. 97.5% of that water is salt water in the oceans that we are not able to use. 2.5% is fresh water, but 69% of that fresh water is encased in ice, which we're not able to access. So clearly this is a big issue. With a growing population, we need to be aware of the fact that water is a necessity to life in general, and it needs to be shared. So when we decided to do this project, we decided to start somewhere really close to home.
By doing so, we decided to start at our own school. Like any large facility, there's people constantly within it. So throughout the day, students are filling up water bottles, washing their hands, using the restroom, which made us think of the problem of water consumption. We know that it's very important to use water every day because it's necessary, though we aim to be able to conserve more water and help it to be a lot more environmentally friendly. From our problem, we came up with 3 solutions. The first of which was cisterns. They are connected to exterior drain pipes and collect rainwater from the roof to be used around the school in tasks such as cleaning. The next of which is automatic toilets. We want to change the sensitivity of them. They're already low flow, but they tend to flush unnecessarily multiple times, which can waste significant amounts of water, and the sensors can easily be changed manually. The final of our solutions was implementing motion sensor sinks. So that way the sinks would only run when there's motion in front of the sensor, and there would be much less unnecessary waste of water and spread of germs.
First off, we have cisterns. Well, what are they? Cisterns are a lot like rain barrels that they collect water from rain pipes and gutters. They, unlike rain barrels, are a lot larger. To be exact, the average cistern holds about 1,760 gallons. And the nice thing about them is they can hold them over time. So if we get a lot of rainfall, they can be used other different times. They also can be used all throughout the year. It doesn't have to be just summer. They can be used in cold months also. Where would they be placed? The type of cistern that we've been looking at is underground cisterns. The nice thing about these is since they're underground, they cannot freeze like out-of-ground cisterns. They also would be connected to the gutter so they actually collect the water and pipe back into the system. They would be used in many different ways since they...
Oh.
Yeah. Not the other one.
Oh, yeah.
We might also have
Might have just been done.
Okay, so how would they be used? They'd be used in multiple different ways. The nice thing about them is that it gets plumbed back into the system so they can be used from washing your hands, flushing toilets, and even cleaning up labs in science. They also are filtered so you're not just getting the direct rainwater. They're actually going to be cleaned and not just like you just get it out from outside. And how would this conserve? Well, to start off, they're completely composed of food-grade plastics. And the more obvious reason, they recycle the water. So instead of just letting this water run off and flood different areas of school, it's actually going to be used instead of causing erosion and runoff. This is an example of how it works. So as you can see, it's connected to the gutter, and then it goes through to a filter, which filters the water, and it goes into the storage tank, and can be held until it's not used. And if it tends that we got a lot of water and we are not using it quickly enough, there's the overflow pipe, so that way it does not just mess up the whole entire system.
Next, we had our automatic sinks. What would be implemented? We would do one of 2 options. Either add an attachment that would connect to the sink that would just transform it into an automatic sink, or completely replace the sink. Would either implement this as soon as we gain the funds needed, or over time as the sinks wear out and break down. Instead of replacing them with the same model, we would instead use a new motion sensor sink. And they'd be put in place because high schoolers tend to get distracted, so they leave the water running, which wastes a lot of water. And also touching the handles spreads germs very easily, and the sinks tend to drip and leak, which over time can build up a lot of wasted water. This is a picture of one of the attachments we looked at that can attach to the sink and make it become motion sensor. Then we have toilets. What we want to do is change the sensitivity of the toilets. We want to do this because they are extremely sensitive, so they tend to flush unnecessarily multiple times, which wastes gallons of water daily. And we want to do this as soon as we can get in touch with the janitorial staff and work with them so that we can manually change it ourselves, along with once we gain the human resources to help us with this endeavor. This is a picture of the sensor for our toilets that is in our own school.
We worked a lot with the Higher Ground company, and we communicated a lot back and forth, and they gave us a lot of helpful information on cisterns and the prices and the size, and they even offered that they would be able to come into our school and give us a more precise estimate of how much this endeavor would cost, and also they would be able to customize a plan that would work best for our school in the different types of sizes and the different placements that would give the most water.
So the real question here is why? Why should we invest our time and money, which the rough estimate for an endeavor our size, including the replacement of sinks and the cistern being buried along with the filter, is roughly about $10,000. That is a lot of money, and we're not denying that. The reason we want this to be changed is overall, if these changes are made, it will save us money in the long run by saving water and saving the environment. We also believe it would generate a spark, considering this is an educational facility. It would bring awareness to water conservation issues around the world. As the students see them being built, see them bring awareness to how they work and why these changes are being made in our school. We're not asking for $10,000 straight up, but any seed money would be helpful at this time, just to get our ideas moving, to replace some of the sinks that they give out over time. We worked really hard on this. This project we all feel really passionate about because, well, we chose it. We started off with rain barrels, and after doing even more research, cisterns seem to be the answer because they don't freeze. And Asheville is a very, very green environment already, and to change a large building, bringing up future people inside of them, we think would make a big difference. That would spark a change throughout town itself. Thank you very much.